Because it's the echo, dude. All right, everybody, welcome to Hot Couch Potato, the podcast where we talk about video games and get great acoustics from our bathrooms. My name is Brent, aka Blue. I'm here with my man Rick, aka A New Perfect Day. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much. Just was watching an anime called, I forgot what it's called. Watakoi Love is Hard for an Otaku. And
What the fuck, dude? Anime has such weird names, dude.
yeah, it was pretty weird, but I was like pretty bored. And it just recently came out, so there's only 2 episodes.
Uh-huh.
But the thing that caught me was, so the story is about like 2 otakus.
Mhm.
One is a girl, and the girl is trying to hide it, because it's not really too much acceptable in Japan.
Okay.
So she's trying to hide hers, but the guy is not, and they're working in this. They just recently started working together in the same building
Mhm.
as I forgot, like public servants or something. But anyways, they start going out, but when they're like meeting at the bar, they both pulled out a Nintendo Switch. I was like, oh my god.
Dude, is this new? This is super new, huh?
Yeah. So they was like playing. But the thing is, I don't know if this game is out in Japan, but they were playing Monster Hunter, and it was the actual graphics from Monster Hunter. It wasn't from World.
Oh,
It looked like
shit.
from older generation of Monster Hunter, but still it looked pretty crazy. The guy was rocking a bow, and he was like taking down some monsters. But then the thing that got me was he was using traps differently. Like they placed a trap, and they placed meat inside the trap. So I was like, what the heck? I don't know how the gameplay is for Monster Hunter back in the day, or it's like we're just so used to just throwing down traps and then tranking the monster, but
Uh-huh.
I guess it was way different, more like surviving kind of thing, and
What,
trapping the monsters
dude?
better. Yeah, but it looks so crazy. So they're playing the Nintendo Switch at the bar, and I was like, damn, that game, if they put that on the Switch, it would look very crazy. It's just being able to do that. But other than that, I was talking to my coworker, and it was funny too, because when we were working together, he's like Mexican and stuff,
Mhm.
and this guy, he does not look like an otaku. But I forgot how we even got to the subject. We were just talking about random stuff, and then I started bringing up Japan, and then he started saying something about his sister was into anime, and I was like, all right, cool, that's cool. And then later down the line, he was telling me he has like the full blown pass to Anime Expo, and he's gonna cosplay.
So it's really not his sister. It's him that's into
It's
anime.
him. It's him. Yeah. So he kind of probably lured me in somehow with the subject, and I exposed myself, and then he exposed him.
That's
but-
what's funny about it. Yeah, some people, they gotta find a safe space. They gotta make sure. All right, dude, is this person for real? Can I expose myself with my anime
Yeah.
addiction to this person? That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, like me, I wear that shit on my sleeve. I'm like,
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
anime? I like anime. I'll start talking about it. But yeah, he was saying like he was gonna be cosplaying as one of the character. I think his name is Gene from Boku no Hero. And I was like, all right, that's cool. I might see you. So yeah, he convinced me to try to go again, because
Oh, this
last year it was like crazy that day, that Saturday particularly, where we had to wait 4 hours
Mm-hmm.
to get in. But that shouldn't be the case this year, so hopefully that'll be pretty good to go to this year.
Yeah, dude, I was actually just talking to my coworker about that too, about Anime Expo and how she went, and she was in the
Mhm.
same line you were in, dude. Where
Oh yeah.
she was out there for like 4 hours, dude, just hanging out before she got
Yeah.
there. And I was low key laughing at her, but I could just see on her face like she still had PTSD from standing in that line for that long, dude. And I felt bad after. I was like, oh shit. Maybe I should stop laughing, dude. But yeah, hopefully they get it together this year.
Yep.
Because you're right, yeah, that was during like those heat waves last year, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty hot, and the lines went down the block, literally from the convention center. So it was like that's ridiculous. You know, how does this line go super way away? But
Mhm.
this year they said that they mailed the badges, so that should cut at least most of the line, and people should just be able to walk in. But I don't know how big this is growing.
Mhm. Shit, no, man. Now you're finding out everybody's into anime, essentially, dude.
I
The crowd's
know.
just gonna be that much bigger. So what's good there, dude? Is it just they have a lot of free stuff? Do you just get to see what anime is coming up, or like items you
S-
wouldn't normally be able to buy out here?
Usually, it's like some of the stuff you wouldn't be able to find in normal stores, that you would only find in Japan or
Mm-hmm.
online. But yeah, there's not too much free stuff. It's just mainly like a bunch of booths selling a bunch of anime and different kind of things. But yeah, it's just being in that type of environment with a lot of people with a similar interest.
Oh,
That
that's
makes it
true.
what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fun in itself. It's just standing together for 4 hours. That was not fun at all. And seeing the same people going down the line because it curves. So you're seeing the same exact people coming down. I was just so bugged out. I was like, man, I want to go home already.
The worst part about waiting in line and seeing, like the curving part is
Yeah.
someone is way in front of you in line and you see them. And then when you end up in their spot and you realize it took you an hour to end up in their spot, that's the one that hurts my feelings so much, man. Hate
Yeah.
waiting in lines like that, dude.
Yeah, and what crazy was they did it like 5 rows, so you're seeing the same person, trying to get to that spot, and then when you get to that spot, you're just like, oh fuck, I gotta do this 5 more times or 4 more times. It's like, oh my god.
Damn, dude. My only thing with that and like with any convention is just the smell, dude. You know what I mean? There's
mm,
a
the,
certain convention smell that happens after a while. After all day standing in those lines, it is around that fourth hour when that shit starts to happen, dude. I think I've only been to one convention where they actually, in those free bags where they give you free stuff when you first get your badge, I've only
mm.
gotten one stick of deodorant out of all
Oh.
the conventions I've been to, and it was for fucking TwitchCon, dude. So
Oh
random, man.
wow.
I know, dude. That was like one of the
Wow.
smaller ones too, so it was funny. Um, but yeah, this week not too much happened, dude. Pretty slow week when it comes to video games. Um, I guess God of War and Labo came out this week. They were the only two games nobody wanted to compete with those guys. Um, both of them did their job too, I guess, man. God of War got crazy reviews, and I think it held up. Like those reviews held up, and everybody's playing it and enjoying it. I'm trying to avoid it so much, dude. Like, there's so many Twitch streams, so many YouTube videos about it, but I want to experience it for myself. So I've just like media blackout, dude. Not watched anything on the internet for the past couple of days, just because I haven't had time to buy it or play it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't want to spoil that story. I don't know how you did it now with The Last of Us, man. You went that long without getting the story spoiled.
I think I got, to the point where people stopped talking about it unless you had to
Mm-hmm.
like bring it up. And then if they did bring
Mm-hmm.
it up, I either like step away from the microphone if we're playing together or just, but yeah, all I knew was that you're in an apocalyptic world with Ellie. And that's all I knew. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a great game, great experience. And it was. So.
Yeah, maybe it's just the initial first 2 days. Just let people get it out of their system, and let the hype die down, and then people probably won't talk about it anymore. So
Exactly.
hopefully next weekend I get into it, man. But yeah, that did its job. Nintendo Labo looks very interesting too. I was watching some videos on just the different sets that people are buying and what they're building with it. So that looks pretty cool, man. I saw the fishing rod and people making the fishing rod, and all I could think of was you, dude. Fishing out
Dude,
there,
I was
man.
like gonna ask you right now. I was like, how is that game? Because I'm thinking about buying the Labo for just the fishing rod in the game.
Dude, I watched a video of Bill Nye the Science Guy playing with it, and his enthusiasm almost made me want to buy Nintendo Labo too, man.
Oh no! I think I might buy it too.
It's funny because
check that out.
it shows him starting to build it. Like, I think they build some RC cars or battle tanks or something, so they were battling each other. and then he built the fishing rod. So it shows him like initially building it, and he's like, "Oh wow, this is like a real fishing rod, guys." I was like, "What the fuck ever," you know what I mean? And then later it shows him like sitting down with a fishing hat on, like a what do you call it, like a bucket hat on. He's like, "Welcome to the fishing show, guys," and he's like reeling in shit. I was like, "Oh my god, dude, Labo is amazing," or Bill Nye's just a great salesman, dude. You know what I mean?
Yep. Shit, I'm already sold. Just you hearing me talking about that.
But yeah, I'll send you the video, dude. But Nintendo Labo looks great, man. I think it'll be cool for kids coming up. I think it's an alternative for Legos or something like that. You know what I mean? Where kids that like to get creative and build stuff, instead of having Legos, they can use Nintendo Labo to do that. And on top of that, they kind of get some, I don't know, engineering experience too, right?
Yeah.
By programming all the like little buttons and what the Wiimote, or shit, I was about to call it a Wiimote, what the Switch Joy-Con does whenever you plug it into certain things. Because it uses the advantage of everything, like the vibrating function, the infrared. I saw it shows like what the infrared picks up on the Switch screen. So yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. If I have an extra $60 laying around, or I think it's $40, if I have extra $40 laying around one day, I'll think about picking it up. The only thing is, I saw the one I would want to build is a piano and just play piano.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
But I watched, it took them 2.5 hours, like two adults.
God damn.
It took them 2.5 hours to build the piano, dude.
Holy shit.
But it's pretty cool. From the looks of it, you can actually produce music on there. You can like record tracks and play it back. So who knows how in depth it gets, but it looks pretty cool. That's what I want to do. It's just that initial 2 hours of building it would be crazy. Also this week, Call of Duty news. It came out that there won't be a single player campaign in the next Call of Duty. We talked about it last week. It's Black Ops 4. Yeah, man. How does that make you feel?
I have no idea. I guess it's cool and all, but like, I guess, I don't know. They can probably pull it off. Warhawk didn't have a single player, and it was mostly multiplayer, but you know, that game kind of took off. So maybe Call of Duty can pull it off, but focusing on that multiplayer stuff, especially like rewards, loot boxes, and perks and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they can get away with it. Maybe in today's climate with all the battle royales and stuff.
Yep. But in a year, probably not, I'm guessing.
But you need a story. I don't know. Because how are you just going to present, oh, here's a battlefield. Here's people shooting at each other. You don't know why, but they're just shooting at each other. Have at it. You know what I mean? I need like a backdrop for that. It's the same thing with like the first Titanfall, right? Like that was just multiplayer. And it was just random two groups fighting each other. I mean, I guess Call of Duty has zombie mode. So that's it. But yeah, I don't know how you're gonna, at least for me, I got Call of Duty World War II and I just played the campaign. I know I'm probably in the minority, but yeah, I don't know how you're gonna sell that game.
I think maybe it's the, like our generation is kind of focused on story mode, and I guess the younger generation, all the teeny bops and stuff, are focused on just hopping into multiplayer and all that. Like, my nephew, he just wants to play a multiplayer game and he doesn't really care for the story. So maybe that audience is pretty vibrant for that.
Shifting over. Because at the same time, too, it's a lot easier to play with people, right? I mean, with us, we'd have to go to someone's house, plug in another controller. And even at that, only one of us can play each other at a time, right? Nowadays, you could play with thousands, tens of people at a time over the internet. Doesn't matter. And it's quick. So I think I see that the generation gap between why the younger audience would be more into multiplayer games, and then at the same time with God of War coming out and being so successful, and that is just single player story mode, I think that says something too.
Yeah, so maybe the audience is becoming more split. One's gonna be focused mainly on the story, and the other multiplayer, like Overwatch or something like that.
Yeah, see, and there you go too. That's another super successful game that is multiplayer only. In fact, the only time they ever have like PvE co-op is during certain events and stuff,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Just for me, I don't know how they're gonna pull off like the context, of why
you're battling each other.
People are shooting each other. Yeah. I mean, you can't just have people shooting each other just to shoot. Even Overwatch has a story with their little short animation films, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're gonna present that if they're just doing multiplayer. Maybe they'll have their own short films, but it won't be as cool as Overwatch because Overwatch is basically anime, right?
Pretty much.
So yeah, dude, I don't know what they're gonna do. All I can think of is zombie mode is always great. If they have a battle royale mode in it, then it'll probably sell. Yeah, dude, I have no idea. Maybe they can sell later as a DLC, but shit, that would suck, dude. This can't be a $60 game. This can't be a $60 game if it's just multiplayer, man.
Yeah. But they're gonna get away with that $60 price because a lot of people still play Call of Duty.
That's true. They can sell you zombie mode and a PvP for $60, and yeah, it would still sell at the Rockers just because it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to copy like CS:GO or something like that, just trying to get competitive,
make it more competitive
online. Yeah, kind of thing.
Damn, we'll see. The only reason too that makes me upset is because Black Ops had some of the better stories, better campaigns from the other Call of Duty series. These are the ones, at least the ones I played. I think I played the first and the second one that took place during like the Cold War, and it had to do with like hypnosis and brainwashing and stuff, dude.
Yeah,
so I always thought that was cool. But shit, if they're just tearing it up and making a multiplayer, who knows? I don't know. From the onset, for me, I'm not a fan. Then again, this information was leaked, so it's kind of crazy. Now I know why you'd get so pissed if information about your project got leaked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a fancy way for someone to spin this and be like, yeah, we're just going to be multiplayer because blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And make it sound super exciting. But if someone just comes out and say, yeah, there's not going to be a campaign, they're like, what the fuck, dude? No way. How's this game even going to exist? How's this game going to cost $60 if there's no campaign, right?
Yeah.
You're not spending money on voice actors to speak lines. You're not spending money on making single player levels, dude. So why does that have to cost $60? So I don't know, man. That battle royale better be good, I guess.
Yep.
Would that be sick? Would a Call of Duty battle royale, would that be fun?
I don't think so. It's like you have limited amount of bullets and certain amount of health. You have no respawn, and it's like I would be super frustrated if some guy kept killing me over and over and over in each battle royale, and I can't respawn to. I just have to wait till the game completes. Or something like that. It's like, golly.
That and the time to kill in Call of Duty is pretty quick, huh? It's usually like 2 seconds. You double burst someone and they're dead. Yeah.
And yeah.
There's just a couple bullets and they're dead. Whereas at least in Fortnite or PUBG or H1Z, when you get shot a couple times, you have that opportunity to like make some cover or get behind cover, recover a little bit and fight back, So
maybe they're gonna copy like Halo, where you have shields and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you can regenerate. In World War II, there was a health system and you can heal, but I don't even think that would work in a battle royale, just because you just heal automatically and you picked up health packs, So yeah, they'll have to figure it out. I don't know. Maybe they're geniuses and they'll blow our minds, but this is something we'll see at E3 for sure. So just nothing to get excited about. I mean, I'm not going to buy it, but just to see how they spin the message on, yeah, no campaign, but here's why it'll be cool anyways,
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. sad news. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter for me because I wasn't ever gonna pick it up. But Dark Souls Remaster got delayed only on the Switch. On everything else, it's still coming out in May, but just for the Switch, it got delayed. So, were you thinking of picking up Dark Souls on the Switch?
I don't know, man. Like, you go through pain one time, it's like, why would I go through it a second time? But maybe, possibly, if once I play Dark Souls 3, then maybe I'll get like reinvigorated to do that. If they had Demon Souls, I would definitely like jump on it right off the spot. But Dark Souls was pretty tricky from going from Demon Souls to Dark Souls because it was pretty heavy. The rolling, the combat, it's way different. And I don't know, maybe, I beat the game, but it took me like almost a couple months just to go through everything, pick up all the weapons you want. So hopefully I'll, hear good things about it.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to pick it up on PS4, if anything, because I still have to play Dark Souls. I didn't get too far. Just because, the only objective you ever hear about in the beginning is, oh, you have to ring 2 bells. And you ring the first one within, I don't know, the first 2 or 3 hours of you playing the game. And then getting to the second bell is so hard. Like, there's so much shit, dude. There's the fucking Anerlon, or no, there's the, was it Blighttown and shit with the poison? There's fucking that underground with the skeletons, man. That
place. That's the worst place.
With the water and the ghosts, dude. That second bell.
That place. That's the third fucking suck place.
Yeah, dude. Getting that second bell is ass, and I never made it down there. For whatever reason, whether it was I couldn't figure it out or I just kept dying because it was so trash in those areas. So
yeah,
maybe the remaster will reinvigorate that feeling for me too. But I'm definitely just gonna get it for PS4. I don't think I'm gonna get it on the Switch. The Switch is just too easy to throw against the wall, dude. For the record, I've never thrown a controller out of rage. I have ripped my shirt. I think I've explained on here that I've ripped a shirt.
Yeah, you were like eating shirt.
Yeah, I was like eating my shirt, but I've never thrown a controller, dude. I don't think I'll ever get that mad. At least in Dark Souls.
No, I just rub my eyes. I put the controller down and just rub my eyes painfully.
Why rub your eyes?
Like frustrated. I don't know. I have this thing like a tick or something. I keep scratching my head, and so like I think in Shovel Knight I started noticing it. Like every time I died climbing that stupid tower, I was scratching the same spot in my head. So like one of these days you're gonna see like a hole on the top of my head,
a bald spot. You have one bald spot on your head from scratching. Yeah. That's funny, dude. Last one we got, I don't know, I just pulled this up because we were talking about statues and toys for games that we've played, but it just got announced that there's going to be $1,000 Neo statue coming out.
Oh my god.
Would you spend that much money, dude, on a Neo statue?
No. I thought, was it the Hulkbuster? I thought that figure was like $500 or something, and I thought that was like the highest
from the Avengers.
Yeah, for the Avengers, but having the $1,000 Neo statue, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I guess it is pretty huge. I think we said it is like almost 2 feet tall, and it's William like crouching down with his like the female guardian spirit thing that he has, man. But yeah, $1,000, dude. I have no idea how they can justify that shit, dude.
Yeah, that it should have just been like killing something, and then I would understand. But
yeah, because he's just crouching, dude.
Yeah, it's like that's not gonna do me any good. Just looking at this guy crouch. I want to see him stab something, stab ninjas or something.
Yeah, because we had our fun, dude. Neo is a great game. There's no denying that, But yeah, man, have him killing something. Don't just have him in like an action pose, dude. Not the point, right?
Exactly.
So keep your $1,000. Try again, man. Make
Yep.
more Xenogears. Dude, if a Xenogears
Hell yeah.
statue was $1,000, would you do it?
Hell yeah. You can put him in a squatting position and I would still buy that shit.
Committed. I like that. Committed, dude. There's no limit to Rick's passion for Xenogears.
Exactly. I don't even know why this game is like very memorable to me and why it sticks to me so much. I guess it's just because I went through it so many times and growing up with my cousins and then seeing how the story like shocked us all. Like, oh my God, I would never have expected this to happen and stuff like that. Just, you know, just brought out each kind of emotion. So I would definitely spend $1,000.
Holy shit, dude. Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. Slow news week. But as far as games, man, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing that new Monster Hunter patch, and I don't even know his name. Kulve
Taurish.
Yeah, that one. Cool Ranch. Yeah,
Cool Ranch. There you go.
That guy.
I like that. Cool Ranch.
But you know, the first initial time we went through it, I think we went through it like 5 rounds before we were able to kill it because we're still new and trying to figure out like you're supposed to collect these tracks to help progress and corner him faster. But yeah, even when we were working with the team, we still spent that much time. But as we progressed, you know, we got it down to the T. We knew where to load the cannons, where his route is going to be, and where he's going to turn for each round of fighting him. But then, you know, like I was playing with the Gunlance and, you know, I had guard up, so I was blocking all of his fire and lava and stuff. So I was like, all right, that's cool. So I decided to try Greatsword, and I'm actually enjoying like really using this Greatsword because that getting those crunchy numbers, you know, with hitting them with the Greatsword. One time I got like 800 off of them for like one of the hits, and then I was playing with Anthony and Dustin, and we got to the lava area, but then for some reason, like my third hit or is it second hit, it kept getting 666. So I was like, you know what? I don't think I might be playing this Greatsword. I was like, you know, this randomly, you're supposed to get random numbers or hit numbers, but I kept getting that like consistently. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to change back to Gunlance. But I was thinking about using guard up with the Greatsword because the Greatsword can block.
Because you can block. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like thinking maybe I'll use that charm and see how well that does against the lava. Because, you know, sometimes I get caught in that lava and I'm like, oh shit, I'm just completely done. But yeah, the only rewards I really got was mainly a good one was for the hammer. And I started building a hammer build and using the hammer was pretty fun and all. I recently just made my build, but it's just with the hammer you don't have that range, which is really tough. You know, it's like, oh my god, you think you're gonna hit him, but you have to be like literally like kissing his leg in order to like actually hit him and stuff like that.
And the thing with the hammer too is you want to keep hitting his face so you can exhaust him, right? Since it's blunt damage. And bro, that's the place you don't want to be standing when fighting Cool Ranch, you know what I mean? It's in front of his face. Like all of his attacks that will kill you are his face. So
it's in his face, dude. It's like God, and it's super high up, dude. It's like God damn. So, but I really enjoy this new monster and the level, especially with like swinging. And I was thinking maybe they should have like a level of purely swinging, like you're chasing a monster.
Oh, you're just swinging.
Yeah, swinging through a forest like Attack on Titan, and then you have to kind of try to mount him at the same time, like damaging and chasing him. So I was thinking that would be a pretty sick level to play with. But other than that, and I do remember when I was playing with the Greatsword, you know, since I can't block out the runaway. It was like me, Dustin, and I forgot somebody who else was with us. Probably Anthony. We were playing, and then I hear Dustin, oh no, I'm burning, I'm burning, I'm burning. My immediate instinct was to put away my sword and just run the opposite direction because I already knew that the lava was
coming. Yeah,
coming. Yeah. And I was like laughing while like Dustin was burning. Dustin was like, you know what? I'm going to remember that. You know, it's like, I don't know how you can help someone that's burning. You know, I'd rather dip out. But
yeah, what are you gonna do? Throw a water balloon at him, dude?
Exactly. But the last game I've been playing, I actually got back into Final Fantasy Brave Exvius again on my phone.
Oh, on your phone? Okay.
Yeah. The reason why I quit was because I think we were talking about in our previous podcast was the loot boxes, and I hated that kind of stuff in this game because there's characters you really want, but you know you have to earn basically the currency in the game or pay with real money to unlock them, and you get these random characters to join your party. But I remember I like stashed them all up and I had like 20 tickets. Basically, each ticket will give you a chance to unlock one of these rare characters. And for some reason, my luck was horrible as doo-doo. I kept getting the same character almost like 8 times, and then I got like random other characters. I never got one of the rare characters at all. So like that's why like I completely stopped playing that game. I was like, this is bullcrap. You either have to pay real money in order to increase that chance to get that rare character. But off topic, the reason why I got back into it because I was looking at tweets, and apparently Xenogears collaboration was supposed to take place with this game, but that's not the case. I only see it in Japan, and I was crying a little bit. Yeah, so it's reading all the comments.
So you got sucked back in on a lie, dude?
Yeah, I basically did. So now I'm like praying that they're gonna just release it sometime soon. And you know, people are like tweeting. They're like, "Please release it over here in NA, North America, please." You know. But our event that's taking place in North America is actually Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
And you can get the Scion characters. What's her name? Melfina. The cat lady, cat girl, and all of them characters. And with my luck, I got all of them. But, you know, it's like, I want Xenogears. So, but one of the cool things, last note, is we're fighting Garuda. And it's the Final Fantasy 14 Garuda.
Okay.
And with the same music, too, and all that in the environment. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty sick, you know.
So reminiscent. We fought that
so
much, dude.
So many times. So I think they're gonna release I forgot Ifrit next or something like that. But it's a pretty cool event. It's just please bring Xenogears over to North America, please. Spare me some coin.
Can you jump onto a Japanese server in that, or?
Dude, I was looking that shit
phone,
I was like looking up VPNs and how to download their. But I think somebody said you have to have an Android phone. But I was like,
it's easier for those.
Yeah, but damn it, damn.
It's like those people back in the day that figured out how to like manipulate the GPS in their phone for Pokemon Go, right? So
exactly.
Capture a Mr. Mime even though they were in America and shit like that.
Yeah.
Damn, RIP, dude. If you went over there and you had your phone with you, could you download the Xenogears version?
I'm not sure because like when I was looking at the pictures, they're all in Japanese. So I'm guessing it's just already dedicated to their local area, and I would have to download the Japanese version of the game and, and all that.
Oh, you'd probably have to make a new account then too, yeah?
Yeah, that too. So
okay. So then the easiest thing would be to bring it here to America.
Exactly. Which that's why I'm playing kind of religiously every day, just looking out for it. Hopefully that's the case.
Just in case.
We're getting Dragon Quest next. And I was like, that's not Xenogears, man. Come on.
Because Dragon Quest 11 is coming out here, right? For Switch.
Yeah, probably. I think so. Not sure.
Okay. Because I know it came out in Japan and people were pissed it wasn't coming out here in America. So maybe people just need to get more pissed about Xenogears, dude. Then it'll come out on Xbox.
Shit. Yeah. Damn it. Then I would spend actual money and keep playing that game.
Yeah. So you didn't mention Octopath Traveler, dude. Did you not try out the Dancer, man?
Oh, I did not. It was
no.
sorry. See, I was completely focused on getting Xenogears that I completely forgot. I need to try out. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a shot today.
Okay. Yeah, I was just watching some videos on the other characters you can choose. I guess they're coming out with more trailers. For just the different characters you can use in Octopath Traveler. And that's what reminded me. I was like, oh, dude, I wonder if Rick tried out the Dancer yet, dude.
I know I should have, but yeah, Xenogears #1 priority.
Xenogears. But yeah, I think because too the story in the demo, I think you might play through the whole thing because it's a lot funnier than the Warriors. This is like a typical story, you know what I mean? But for the
I thought it was pretty good for a pretty typical story too.
Yeah, right. Because it's that guy who betrays you and your kingdom, so you like wake up and I don't know, ultimately try to get revenge, right? And that's what your driving factor is. For the Dancer, it's kind of a little different, dude. I don't want to spoil it, so I'll just let you play it and come back, man. But it's good times. It's really good times, dude. Because it's a different spin on, you know, a normal RPG class. I've been doing the same, dude. I've been playing Monster Hunter World with Fighting Cool Ranch. Dude, Monster Hunter World has got to be the greatest game of all time, man. Like, how are they gonna come out with this huge content dump of what is it, the Spring Festival, right? Where they have all the events available. You can get Spring Blossom tickets so you can build a spring armor. There's just so much stuff to do, you know what I mean, in that Spring Festival. And then 2 days before it ends, you come out with a trailer with a brand new monster in a brand new area.
I know.
Say that like, 16 people can work cooperatively on it to try and bring down this monster, and have it come out the day that the Spring Festival ends is crazy, dude. It's just And there was actually some overlap where you could do Cool Ranch and you were still in the Spring Festival. So
Spring Festival, yeah.
So that's crazy, man. All for free, dude. I haven't paid any more for this game than what I initially did in the beginning. You know, I mean, I got the little collector's edition for I think $80, but after that, I haven't spent anything else. You know, I haven't really bought any gestures. Everybody's buying the funny dance moves, dude, which is hilarious, man. I love watching all the new dance moves. But I mean, I haven't spent money on a Hadouken, on a Shoryuken, anything like that. And dude, this game just keeps pumping out content, man. It's crazy. I don't know how they're doing it.
Exactly. I don't know either. And it's on time. You know, when they say it's going to be released, it's going to be released, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah. And I mean, we're not even done. I mean, Cool Ranch is around until May, I think. So we still got another week and a half with him. And then before we know it, Dante's going to be here. And we can get the Dante gear. So there's so much to look forward to still, man. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
They just need to turn this into like a full-blown MMO where we can visit everybody and, you know, just continue to build off this game, because this game is pretty fluid. The action, the fighting, the story, it's like, you know, it's very innovative. You have all the right elements to this game, and just keep pushing forward with this free stuff. You already have my attention full-blown.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right, dude. The gameplay is just so fun. So fluid. I mean, you and I, we play a lot of action RPG games, dude. So it's like right up our alley. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. They're doing everything so right, and I think we've just been disappointed so much, or tricked so much by games like Destiny 2, and Division that like it's so foreign to us. You know what I mean? We've lost that trust in people. We're kind of pessimistic about all this stuff, and then finally someone comes along who's really just, oh, it's okay. Yeah, here's some extra gameplay features. Here's some extra content. Money? No, we don't want money. This is for you guys, you know what I mean? For the game.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I think that's why we're so just enthralled by it, you know what I mean? But shit, dude. Capcom can do no wrong right now, man, with Monster Hunter, dude. It's good times, man. Cause yeah, that fight is fun. It's a totally new experience. I mean, this is the first time where you can have multiple teams work towards the same objective, you know?
Yeah.
Just because, too, if you're in the same gathering hub as another team and they beat the monster, you can get the rewards for it. I think someone was telling me, I think Ryan was telling me what he'll do is he'll jump into a lobby and just go AFK and just wait for them to finish it.
Wow.
But I guess that works. You know what I mean? Because you're there.
Yeah.
Technically part of the party, and once they finish it, you reap the rewards too. So yeah, it's kind of wild, man. And I think what makes it cool too is it's brought back, I don't know, a little bit of that Destiny addiction to us with these RNG weapon rolls that we're getting, dude. I mean, I think there's a set like amount of weapons that there are, you know what I mean? It's not just random stats and all that, but the drops and what you get are random. So that's what I like too. I think I got a longsword that has like 420 paralysis and like 700 attack almost, dude, and it has a gem slot plus 20 defense. It's friggin' a god tier sword, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So and they're all gold, which just makes it even better, dude. Just gold weapons. Just looks so picked out. The armor looks cool too. The Palico set that you get from Cool Ranch is awesome. Makes your little cat look like a lion, dude.
What? I totally forgot to check that out.
Oh, you didn't get that? Dude, he looks cool, man. You can get a samurai. They have more layered armor sets. You can get another samurai set, which just looks awesome, dude. You can get a samurai set for your cat, too, which fucking looks great. Yeah, dude. Just content on top of content, man. And like I said, and Dante's going to be here before we know it. There's just going to be more stuff to do, dude. So it's good times. And you could still do the Mega Man stuff if you didn't get your Mega Man Palico gear yet. So just so much to do in the game. Since it's been released, they've brought out 2 new monsters, which any other game, if they were to do that, they would have charged us $15 for. So good times, man. Can't sing praises enough for Monster Hunter World. Other than that, in the beginning of the week, I was playing Demon Souls. I'm still playing Demon Souls. I just need to get all the rings, and I'm going to be done with this game, dude. And unfortunately, to get my last ring, I have to have pure white...
tendency?
Yeah, pure white character tendency, not world tendency. So, and I think I explained it last time.
Killed
I fucked
nobody.
up. Yeah, so last time I fucked up, and before I finished the game, my first playthrough, I killed everybody in the Nexus just to get their clothes, just to get their armor, whatever. I killed everybody, dude. So of course that brought my my character tendency all the way to black, and the only way to bring it up to white is to either kill people in PvP, which since the servers are dead, there is no PvP. So the only thing I can do now is kill Black Phantoms. And apparently it takes 2 playthroughs for you to go from pure black to pure white, just killing the Black Phantoms. And dude, the Black Phantoms are so hard, man.
Hard as shit.
It's fucking ridiculous how hard. They're harder than the bosses, dude. It doesn't make sense. Like, you get one shot by them. My most powerful spell, right, that I use, the homing arrows, the 5 of them. If I'm fighting a boss, if I use that spell 3 times, I'm in new game +3 right now. I use that spell 3 times, it kills a boss, right? If I use that spell 3 times, it doesn't even take a fourth of health off the Black Phantoms.
And they so dodge too.
Yeah, man. It just hurts my feelings so much. And usually the places where you have to fight them are the worst.
Are in the shittiest areas,
it's the worst, dude. Fighting the guy in the prison, you're just in that narrow hallway fighting.
Nowhere to run.
Yeah, nowhere to run. I think you can fight. What's that dude's name? Oh man, there's a Black Phantom of the boss in the Poison World, the guy, and you just fight him on that ledge, which is horrible. He can one shot you. He's the worst. His sister, you have to fight in like the poison lake, and all you can do is fat roll. You can't even roll because you're in the lake, but she can roll all day and do all she wants. And she has this spell that negates all magic, so I can't use my magic against her, dude. And her sword goes through shields. Oh man, the Black Phantoms are the worst, dude. But I'm powering through. I'm glad this Monster Hunter World content came out, so I don't have to hit my head against the wall against these fucking Black Phantoms, dude. Oh my god, man. It's truly testing my patience and my skills, man. I think this is the hardest thing I've done in the Soul series, man.
Yup, welcome to Demon Souls.
Oh man, but that's it. I mean, I really wanted to get God of War, but I just knew I wouldn't really play it because of the Cool Ranch event. I mean, I still want to play it some more. I need one more Glimstone, dude, to make the full set of armor.
Oh, you got like 4 Glimstones?
No, I think you only need 2 to make the armor.
Oh, okay. Oh, then I think I got them all then. I think one was for like the waist, and one was for the chest.
For the chest. No.
Yeah.
It's the arms. The arms and the waist.
The arms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I still need one more Glimstone. I just have the worst luck, I guess, when it comes to those. But because other than that, I think I've gotten all the weapons I want. I want to start using the mini bowgun because that thing is just OP as hell right now.
The light bowgun, or is that the heavy?
No, the light. Gotcha. I don't know how Scott uses the heavy bowgun, dude. Because that shit, he has no mobility. He'll say, "Oh no, I'm gonna die," and then 5 seconds later, yeah, sure enough, he dies. So if you know 5 seconds before you're gonna die, and you can't do anything about it, oh man, that's not me, dude.
It's just a good predictor.
Yeah, with me, you know what I mean? I use a longsword, so I roll everywhere, and I have attacks that reposition me and make me dodge out of areas too. So mobility is huge for me.
Yeah.
Another funny thing too is like when either you or Dustin are blocking the lava, and you just hear the tink, 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 tink. So I didn't know that takes up stamina until Dustin said, "Oh no, dude, I have low stamina." And you hear tink, 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 and then you stop hearing the tinks, and you just see his life go down.
See him on fire.
There was this one where he was blocking and he ran out of stamina, and we only had one more feint left, and he was on fire. And there's that little diamond at the end of your health bar?
Yeah.
His health was in the middle of that diamond, and it was red, which means he was on fire. I'm out here trying to throw life powders and stuff. I'm like, "Dustin, live! You're the god, dude. You're the greatest. You're in the lava and you're living." And I thought he lived, but then I guess he actually got swiped or something by Cool Ranch and died. I was like, "Dude, you're trash at this game." It's just funny playing with him and hearing the blocks and stuff, dude.
Yeah, like basically we can like block the one fire, but then when he does 2 and we're getting hit by 2 at the same time, we're like, "Dude, we're gonna die soon."
Yeah. I think the sound that tink is just the funniest sound ever, dude. But yeah, man. So this week we're gonna talk briefly about the console wars. I know not a couple, maybe like a month or 2 ago, we were talking about how Xbox could be taking over the game with their backwards compatibility, the way you can play Xbox games on the console or the PC. And at the end of that conversation, I think I convinced myself that Xbox was kind of winning. Now 2 months later, when we see how, I don't know, I don't want to call it trash, but how not that good Sea of Thieves
not what you expected.
Yeah, not what you expected. Sea of Thieves was not what we expected it to be. And just seeing what PlayStation is doing with their exclusives and stuff. I I don't think it's as one-sided as I led myself to believe a couple months ago. Um, so I guess we can start out. I mean, I think we're pretty biased here, man, but let's just get it out of the way. What's your preference out of the two, dude? I know you don't even own one, but we just got to say it out loud, dude. Which one's your preference?
It has to be PlayStation. I've
Mhm.
had the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Then I had, during that time, I got the Xbox. But, I only had Halo on that. So I had most of the consoles growing up, too. I had the Xbox 360, Xbox One. But, I stuck with PS3, even though, like, everyone was, like, telling it was trash and all that. So sure enough, when we got to the PS4, then suddenly people shifted from going, playing Xbox that I knew that they used to over to PlayStation. And the reason why I'm liking PlayStation is because it's awesome. But yeah.
I think so too, is because, self-proclaimed anime lover over here, they just have a lot of Sony's Japanese, man, so there's a lot more Japanese titles, a lot more Japanese
Oh
games
yeah,
and things
that's
on
right.
PlayStation as well, right?
You're right.
Um,
You're right.
I think that's why it was a huge thing. What was that game called? When, at least for me, when Lost Odyssey came out on Xbox 360, I was like, oh, dude, this is the Final Fantasy killer, man. Here is Xbox's like turn-based game that they're just gonna dominate with. I mean, Lost Odyssey is great. It's a great game, but I don't think they did anything with it after that. So, but no, I'll be the same, man. I think we're both just really, really biased towards Sony, man, and PlayStation, just because the games I've experienced on PlayStation are way more memorable to me than anything I've played on Xbox. I never even had an Xbox One. I just had Xbox and Xbox 360. The most joy I think I got out of Xbox 360 was Rock Band. For some reason,
That's right.
whenever I played that game, it was on Xbox and not on PlayStation. And playing that game on PlayStation was so foreign to me for some reason. Dude, I still remember when we played the endless playlist, dude, to try and get that trophy or try and get that achievement or whatever, dude. And it took us 4 or 5
Wasn't it
hours.
like all of the songs? I think it was.
Dude, you have to play all the songs, yeah, and
without
then you get,
stopping or pausing,
and you get like a gold emblem or something like that. And I remember, there was an achievement too if you don't pause the game or fail any songs, right? So some of us put it on hard because we didn't want to be bored. Some of us put it on normal just because, just so we could switch around. I think there was like 6 of us there too, so we could just hand controllers off and play different songs. But we didn't take into account this one like heavy metal song that was just super hard, even on hard. And we fit, and it wasn't until like it was near the end of the playlist too. So I think it was like one of the last 5 songs we failed, and we're like, oh wow, dude, we just went through all that and failed a song.
And each song is like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
No, it literally did take like 4 or 5 hours to do the whole playlist, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But I think we just said, fuck it, dude. Let's just finish it and get the one achievement. We'll be fine, But yeah, that's the only thing I really remember. I mean, we were on the Halo tip for a while. I remember playing Left 4 Dead Rising a lot. But shit, even that's on PlayStation 4 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That being said, too, I think you've sold your last 2 Xbox consoles, right? You sold one to me.
Yeah. I got like 360 twice.
And you sold me one of them. I think you had an Xbox One too, right? And then you sold that or returned it?
And I sold that to my coworker. Yep.
Yeah. So that says something too. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can dive more into why too. I think I've been reading more articles recently about the PlayStation 3 and why PlayStation 3 wasn't that great when it initially came out. Why you were probably here, everyone was telling you not to stick with PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I guess the hardware was just really finicky and really hard for people to work with and make games on.
Yeah.
That's why when PlayStation 3 first came out, things weren't as good, and Xbox did have the more fun games out there. It was just hard to develop games for, and that's why it wasn't until the end where we saw great games like Last of Us come out. You know what I mean? Because they finally figured out the hardware. But shortly after that, PlayStation 4 came out, so it didn't matter anyways, right? You didn't have to build for the PlayStation 3 no more. But why else? You know, is PlayStation your go-to besides anime, man?
Mainly one, it's like memorable, and it's just I've stuck with it since day one. Might as well continue with it. And even though like I enjoyed playing Xbox, it's just mainly my friends were always on either PS4 or I think Nintendo Wii at the time, so we're playing Brawl. So nobody really had like the PS3 or the PS2. Oh no, everyone had PS2. No one had the PS3 except for like me, Eric, and like Danny. But when PS4 came around, all the game, I think Sony decided to go with like indie developers and work heavily with them. So it just made it more like a stronger fan base of, why I want to stick with PS4 even more. And I don't know. It's just since everybody is playing on PS4, it's just you might as well stick with wherever the crowd is playing. Even though there's games on Xbox I really want to play, it's just when I logged in, it's just nobody was really on. I only had like one friend on Xbox, and everybody was playing Overwatch at the time. So I was like, okay, well, sticking with PlayStation, I think. But then right now, I'm gonna go a little off sidetrack. I think Nintendo Switch is kind of like taking my interest too right now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's just having that portability of being able to go around and all that. I'm still with PlayStation, but I just like playing the Switch randomly at times when I just want to like relax in my bed and all that, which I think PlayStation had the idea with the Vita. They had the remote play. They just didn't grasp it enough. I remember one commercial, they said they're supposed to have, you're playing on your PS3 or PS4 or whatnot, but you have to pause and go somewhere else. And the commercial showed like, oh, they resumed the game on their Vita, but they were elsewhere. So I thought that was going to be innovative, but they just really didn't jump on that thing. And then now the Switch was like, hey, you know what, that was a pretty good idea, let's take that. And now look at them, they're just like dominating with that idea.
No, it takes a lot more than just pausing the game and picking up your Vita to do that kind of stuff, man.
Exactly.
After our episode last week, I was testing all the ways you can remote play or play your PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 on the Vita. I was trying to play Demon Souls on the Vita, and I got so far as to replicate the screen of my PlayStation 3, remote play on my Vita. I went and selected Demon Souls, and it said this software cannot be used in remote play.
Oh
like,
no!
What the fuck is the point then? What am I gonna do on remote play on the PS3? Basically all the games on PS4 I think you can play. It's just the connections, dude, aren't really that great, man.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do it over a network. So if you're closer to your PS4, you're going to have a little bit of latency, but not as bad. But then I remember trying it like remotely from a different location. I kept getting disconnected.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty slow responding. And it's just, even though I was on a fast Wi-Fi, it's just, it's that latency. So, see, that idea would have taken off with the place. I would have bought 3 PS Vitas, just because of that idea. But now the Switch has it, so I'm on board with the Switch right now. Especially with the Labo, I'm gonna buy a fishing rod soon. I might buy a hat too.
You're gonna buy a hat. Do you remember when they announced, oh yeah, and we're partnering for our portable network, with PlayStation Vita? They were like, we're partnering with AT&T, and nobody was excited for it, dude.
Exactly.
Just because everybody knows AT&T is so trash, dude.
Yeah, like there's like Vitas that had like the SIM card or be able to do that, but then it was just AT&T it wasn't network. Even it wasn't even that strong, and I think it was running off a 3G network, so it wasn't 4G at the time.
Damn, dude. Can you imagine remote playing over 3G? That would have sucked, man.
Yeah, horrible. It's like dial-up.
I think the big thing for me in my preference with the PlayStation is the exclusives, man. They're exclusive, especially now what we're seeing coming out. Um, PlayStation exclusives are just way stronger than Xbox exclusives to me. Um, and the fact that they're concentrating more on single player based games, you know what I mean? For some reason, I always attach Call of Duty to Xbox. Oh, there you go. I used to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 a lot on the Xbox. And that itself was just multiplayer all the time. You know, you picked up sticks and just shot at people for a few minutes and then turned it off. And I think I tie PlayStation more into just a storytelling, especially with like Last of Us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Although that did have a multiplayer too, which was all right. Just that story and the single player just sticking with me, you know, being so cinematic and almost being like a movie. And then you hear the same thing about what God of War is doing right now, right? How that's just a cinematic experience that you get to play through. I think we talked about it before. Like PlayStations are like movies; they're just way more immersive, right? Because you're the character, you're the one that's taking the actions and making everything happen in the game. So you're technically in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on top of that, other games that are exclusive, like Uncharted, you know what I mean? That itself has a great story. I mean, so funny, man. I was watching Indiana Jones the other day and just thinking in my mind, holy shit, Indiana Jones probably has murdered like 100 Nazis, but he's still like an easygoing guy. You know what I mean? Because that's the same thing about Drake, too. And why the second one is so great. You play through the whole second game of Uncharted 2, and the whole time your kill count is probably up there. You know, you probably killed 100 guys by the time, or hundreds of guys by the time you get to the final boss. And then when the final boss says, "You and me aren't any different. You've murdered hundreds of people just like I have. What makes us different?" And then you question yourself. You're like, "Holy shit! I have killed a lot of people in this game, but I'm still just this likable guy. How does this make sense?" And then you start like empathizing with the final boss and stuff. But yeah, man, just PlayStation, I think, has way more exclusives that I'll gravitate towards than Xbox. If you think about it, Xbox exclusives don't really hold a stick at PlayStation exclusives. What was that one game that was supposed to come out for Xbox? Oh man, it's where you had the dragons
Halo.
And stuff. No. They canceled it. No, it had dragons and your character was like Dante and you put on headphones to be Super Saiyan mode. Oh man, it's gonna bug me.
Oh, they canceled it? That was the one where he's like fighting a dragon in the air or something?
Yeah, and you could co-op. There was like 4 people with dragons and stuff fighting one huge dragon.
Oh yeah, that was on E3 last year.
Scalebound. That game, like, they just canceled it. You know what I mean? That would have been a game. I think that would have been a console seller for sure. You know, and with Microsoft canceling that as an exclusive, it kind of makes you lose hope, right? That they're not really focused on building any intellectual properties like what Sony has been doing for the past like 20 years. So that's concerning too, that one, Microsoft is short on exclusive games, and two, they're not even trying to develop any is kind of concerning, at least for me, for someone who pays attention to what games I can play. You know what I mean? And I've brought up all these great titles, all these reasons why the console exclusives are great on Sony, and I haven't even brought up the greatest one of all, which is like Bloodborne. So that says something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think? What does the future hold, man? Where do you think Xbox 2 and PlayStation 5 will take us?
Holograms. We need to do holograms, but probably VR.
Wait, no, that's... Oh, so you think more VR, dude? You don't think VR is dead? I think VR is dead.
Yeah. Essentially, it is, but I think they're gonna probably approach it differently. You know, just how we can get it to be technologies more mobile and more immersive. So either VR or you're taking it out like the Switch and going out places. So like I think like how the Switch is, they're thinking outside the box, you know. They're starting to use cardboard and people are willing to buy this piece of cardboard. But the idea behind it is just this is things you can touch, you know, and you can play along with the game or whatnot that makes it more immersive. So if they start going down that route where either A, they're going VR or B, they're going something where it's physical, then yeah, I think that's the direction they're going to have to take. Otherwise, it's just going to be just another console with better graphics that can do 4K and all that. So that would be the standard.
And I think we're at our peak as far as graphics go. You know what I mean? I think the only thing that would make consoles better is a higher frame rate, right?
Yeah.
Like if not getting stuck at 30 frames per second anymore. If they could manage 60 frames, that would be awesome. Who do you think will do that virtual reality or like different way of playing better? Microsoft or Sony?
I would say Sony because they're probably feeling the competition from the Nintendo Switch. You know, like how Nintendo Switch is thinking outside the box. Now they have to up their game and see how to keep up with that type of competition.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're thinking 2 steps ahead, man. I don't think that's coming out for a while. I think next will be maybe slightly better graphics, but a way better frame rate. You know, I think everybody's, especially with PCs, man, everybody's so sick and tired of 30 FPS that that's got to be their number one concern for console gaming. And what I want to see, man, is kind of like Sword Art Online, where it isn't virtual reality, but it's, I don't know, how would you even explain that? It's not even augmented reality. It's just you put on the headset and then you could just lay down in bed, dude, and you're playing in your mind, right?
Yeah,
Not virtual reality.
That? Yeah, virtual reality. Yeah, but super advanced.
Because that does, it like ties into your brain. That's how people were dying. It was like frying their brains if they died in the game. But that's the ultimate future, and I bet you Microsoft will probably figure that out first.
Probably just because they have the resources and the money.
They have way more in stock with PCs and things like that. So
technology. So
yeah.
Idea Xbox. Come on with the Xbox One S 1060 90.
No shit. No. But yeah, man, I think it'll always be a constant battle. I think it's good, man. You're gonna need competition, you know. If Xbox wasn't here and if it was only PlayStation and Switch, like, I think it would be boring, you know. PlayStation wouldn't have a reason to make itself better, you know. They would just get stagnant and complacent with what they do. So the fact that each of them is there, Xbox is there, PlayStation is there just to make each other better is good, dude. And we could have these debates all day long, right, on which is better, but I think ultimately the competition is for the good, man. Otherwise, yeah, we just have the same PlayStation 1 all up until this time. It was funny too. I think someone complained or someone said that Xbox is dying with God of War coming out just because, you know, Xbox doesn't have any exclusives like that. And I think the man over at Xbox, Phil Spencer, responded to it and said, yeah, we're trying to do this, but they got a head start. Well, shit, if you quit killing games like Scalebound, then maybe you'll be on the same level, dude.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know how fun that game would have been, but shit, at least it's an exclusive for you that's, you know, would cater to Monster Hunter fans, maybe Devil May Cry fans, maybe. So. Yeah,
and that's how I think, you know, PS3 too was like, oh hey, this is we're like focusing on the hardware. That's what PS3 was mainly about, focusing on the hardware. But developers couldn't keep up with that technology at the time. And Xbox 360 was easier, and so developers were allowed to create more games. So it was mostly game focused. But then when PlayStation 4 came out, that's when PlayStation was like, oh yeah, let's focus on nothing but games. So here's like a billion trailers of games coming out, stuff like that. And that's what like captivated the audience. They're like, okay, this is all about the gamers, the indie developers, and all that. Let's focus on that. But then I think that's when Xbox took a different take. Was like, oh, let's focus on this cable TV and the copyright issue thing and how we can use the Kinect. It's like, oh, so I think at that point, that's when things turned around.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the ultimate lesson. I think you can have the greatest console ever made, but if you have no games to play on it, then who really cares, right?
Exactly.
That even happened to the Switch when it first came out, right? I mean, Switch is cool, but you can only have Zelda right now for the first few months. So,
yep.
Yeah, definitely hear what you're saying. Consoles are cool, but the games matter the most. So keep doing that. Stop doing the gimmicks. So yeah, now time for our quickfire question for the week. Do you usually create a girl or a guy character in a video game?
Generally, guy characters, because I want to role play and be the essence of that character, and it's like I want to be the badass while growing up with this character, leveling up and all that. I did create one girl character in Vindictus, and even though I was like role playing, it felt so awkward having these random guys just come up and like, hey, are you a real girl? Hey, you wanna play together? Hey, here's a present. Like shit like that. I'm like, fuck out of here, dude. So, it's good to look at, for at least that girl character, but I'd rather play the guy character so that way I don't have to worry too much about getting poached by other guys.
And see, I'm 100% with you. You know what I mean? If I have an opportunity to make a character, I'm gonna try and make like something that represents me or myself. So it's me that's in. I want to immerse myself and put myself in the game. Right?
Exactly.
That's why all my characters have super small eyes. They're slanted eyebrows, dude. I make that stupid face with all my characters because I want to make like a representation of myself in the game. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll always make a guy character. But I remember it even went as far back as City of Heroes, dude. The first time I made a girl character, and it was just so foreign to me. Like, why am I making a girl character? But it was for somebody else to play on my account. And I remember I would just get random money for people who were like, oh, are you a real girl? And they would just give me money in the game.
Exactly.
I was like, what the fuck? This is for real, dude.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until a long time afterwards where I forgot what game you could make your own character. But I was like, why are you making a girl character? And I forgot who told me, but I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to be playing a game. Why do I want to be looking at a dude's ass the whole time I'm playing? I might as well make a chick. So I'm looking at a chick's ass the entire time.
That might have been Anthony or Ryan.
Yeah?
I remember. Yeah, I was there when someone said that.
It was a long time ago, though. So I don't know if it was them. But yeah, man. And that's where it started to click like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what even put it in my head even more was Tenchu. I forgot which Tenchu it was. But whichever Tenchu came out on the PlayStation 2. Now, Tenchu was a ninja stealth game. Really great. I wish they would remake it, where you would just be in the levels and then you would have your target. And the whole goal would be to kill the target and that's it. Once you kill the target, the level is done. And you had any kind of way to do it. Almost like Hitman, except with ninjas. So, in that game, there's this girl ninja named
Ambu.
No, it started with an A. It was Akubi.
This was
something.
Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. I think that was the one I played.
Oh, okay, that's the one on PS2, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, there was an alternate costume for the girl character, and it's basically what 2B is wearing in what's that game called, dude? Holy shit.
Oh man syndrome.
Automata. There you go. It's basically what 2B's wearing in Automata. She's just wearing a thong, dude. So the whole time I'm running around in this game, just looking at this ninja girl's ass, and I was like, you know what? Now I get it, dude. But still,
Ayame is the girl.
there you go. Yeah, Ayame. So she had an alternate costume, which was 2B before 2B ever came out. She's just running around being a ninja in a thong, dude. And of course, the camera's over the shoulder, so you just see her ass the entire game. And how old were we then? 13, 14-year-old me was like, okay, I get it now. This is why you make girl characters.
Excellent.
But as it stands, dude, if I'm in a game, like in all Dark Souls, dude, I made all guy characters, man. I want to be dying over and over, you know? But yeah, that's funny, dude. Like the kind of mentality that goes behind that. So yeah, that is it for us this week. Next week, we'll do a little bit of a flashback series, man, and we'll talk about memory cards and how life has changed without them. But yeah, until then, Rick, some words of wisdom?
If you want to block in Monster Hunter, make sure you have a lot of stamina.
Tink, tink. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.